kids' faces says it all, doesn't it? It's unbelievable. The poor kids who already have survived unimaginable tragedies, they are clearly uncomfortable. They don't want to be there, especially, I mean, these kids. But Harry, of course, for him, it's all about the picture, the halo. I guess for $600,000, you would do the same thing. You would smile. You can see everybody else is not. Look at the eyes of these children. He gets two to smile because he's touching them inappropriately. But even then, just one little kid that he makes smile. But that's all they need. They just need that one kid to smile for Harry so he can get his photo up. Absolutely disgusting man. No, Harry will never be his mother because Princess Diana was a true humanitarian who didn't get paid to do anything. She was actually campaigning to ban the landmines, which she managed to get done. Harry is a pathetic, grifting wanker who is taking advantage of exploiting and dining out on his mother's legacy. More likely, he's ruined Princess Diana legacy because, I mean, why? Why? I really ask you why. And the sad part is that the palace was behind this visit. Believe it or not, it is heartbreaking what we're witnessing right now. And the worst part of it all is that people are applauding this. The PR spin is that this is a good thing. And I'm going to show you how the palace is behind this. Not Prince William, the palace. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and it tells YouTube that you like my videos. And you tell me that you like my videos. Also, leave your comments. My name is Paula M, and we're going to talk about a few things right now because the parents of the children were not told that Harry was coming. The parents of the children were not told that their kids were going to be used for a photo op. The parents of the children were not given 1 cent in return for that shameful photo op for Harry. And the children themselves were incredibly uncomfortable. I mean, children's faces don't lie, do they? You may be able to fool people, but a child and dogs, you can't. And you can really tell how uncomfortable those children were when you saw them at the beginning. But that's the best they could get. That is actually at the Halo website. That is all you. That's the most they could get. That should tell you something, right? But Harry, the big hero. And how do I? Why do I say that the palace is behind this, guys? This is the Halo Trust website, the Halo Trust website. And you can see here the Duke's visit included discussion of a significant new commitment to landmine clearance. But what's really interesting here is that Harry was hosted by the British Embassy in Angola. Why would the British embassy is only involved when the royals come in official visit and they're received by the president, of course, of Angola, just like Harry was. And yes, later that day, the Duke joined leaders from the business and diplomatic communities at a reception hosted by the British embassy, where he highlighted the value of long term international partnership in achieving humanitarian goals. This post was shared on the royal family's official website. Yes, this post was shared in 2019, already when they knew that Harry was leaving. The president of a country will only receive a royal when he travels on behalf of the royal family. Because this was not a minister like in Nigeria. This is the president receiving the Duke of Sussex, and he's hosted by the British Embassy and paid for by the Halo Trust. I mean, are we really surprised who their partners are? Because I'm sure you're going to see a few ones that come to mind when you see them, especially this one right here, the Rothschild Co. Four generations, Microsoft, Google. Does that ring a bell about anything, anybody? What is particularly shameful in all of this is that, in spite of the massive push and PR that Harry's just like his mother, retracing his mother's footsteps, they are facing a huge backlash because they just don't get it, do they? Nobody wants a traitor. Nobody. People don't want Harry. He's a mercenary for hire, for sale. And the palace organizing this uh, to try to rehabilitate his image for that stage royal comeback, it's not going to work. People can see right through it. It is unbelievable to me in a very sad state of affairs because Harry is absolutely oblivious to those kids, how uncomfortable they are. He really does not care how I mean, this man is on another planet. He has no shame. You can see how uncomfortable people are. The parents have complained to the Halo, but of course they don't matter. They're black, they're poor. Why do they matter? Who cares about them? Let's not forget we have the African parks. And now the palace is scrambling and pushing really hard with every major outlet that Harry's following his mother's footsteps. We're going to host him with the British Embassy, whether you like it or not. And that reception was paid for by the taxpayers of the United Kingdom, by the UK government, because, of course, it's the British Embassy. So your tax dollars are there. I think it's time to start asking their rough questions nobody wants to ask because you can't deny it anymore. And unfortunately, the palace is scrambling because they just don't get it. They're scratching their heads. How can they it backfire? Harry, they used to love Harry. And if they loved him once, they will love him again. Unfortunately, the internet is forever. Unfortunately, Harry shows no remorse. None whatsoever. I kid you not. This is the best that the Halo Trust could come up with. This is Harry right here. You can look at the kids. I mean, it is actually quite painful to watch. It is absolutely horrible to watch this. And Harry feeling proud of himself, getting paid £600,000 with this fake mine that we all saw yesterday was staged. You can see the poor kids being exploited by this person. Shameful indeed. And then this is what they have. This is what they can come up with. Look, I kid you not. Prince Harry recreates his mother's historic walk. Yes, Princess Diana's walk was historical, but not as Harry, just as his mother did 28 years ago. No, it isn't. Because this man is exploiting his mother's memory and the palace is organizing it, which makes it even worse. If you ask me, they have to fire the communications director because the very same guy who was behind those pictures sitting in the balcony across is the very same guy organizing Harry's comeback, royal comeback. And of course, Charles doesn't care because Charles thinks he's going to live another 20 years. So it's whatever Charles wants, Charles gets. I ask you, do you think that this is correct? Do you think that the British embassy in Angola is going to host Harry with diplomats and other dignitaries without the palace's and government's approval, backed by the Rothschild family and the king himself, organized by the directors of communications? The very same director who sent threats to reporters saying, how dare you leak stuff? How dare you not like the stuff we're doing? If you don't follow what we want, we will not give you the stories. Because apparently, of the leak that happened, that Charles wants Meghan and Harry to be central to his funeral. Well, the Queen didn't want Harry wearing a uniform, and Charles overrode that and had him wearing a uniform at her funeral, which was a disrespectful thing and went against the wishes of the dead Queen. So that guy is threatening, sent a WhatsApp group to the Royal Rota saying, you better get in line or I'm not going to let you have any more news. And he tried to censor all the Royal Rota because he feels he can. Why not? They've done it in the past. While we won't be drawn on the details or accuracy of the claims, the Bridges plans, Bridges is London Bridge, as basically the funeral arrangements for the king. are not yet finalized. And there he goes. Can we therefore remind all media that speculations about demise planning is deeply distasteful? They always bring something emotional about it, right? And then this sort of article is therefore unconscionable, no matter how sensitively framed. It is also a breach of the clear understanding that in order for us to be able to assist media with operational planning, royal reporters do not write speculative pieces about bridges planning, whatever the source. On that basis, please make your desk and editors aware that those publications, networks, outlets that follow this story or carry such reports of their own are unlikely to receive assistance on Bridges briefings, regardless of the platform it appears on or the byline or of the article on the article. This helps us work with trusted partners in a spirit of mutual support and openness. Thank you for your understanding. Hopefully, sensitivity. Oh, and PS, but it's all over Twitter, clickbait.com, etc. It's not an excuse or justification. Some may hope. So there you have it, folks. That's how the palace silenced things. That's we're witnessing on real time. They are admitting because it is an inside source from the planning that actually leaked the information that Charles wants Harry and Meghan to be central part of his funeral, which I understand not. I understand it's a family, but be central part to it. These two people who have made a living hell of Princess Catherine's cancer struggle and battle, and to her family, to her young family, even to him. I don't get it. There's no self respect and no dignity, unless, of course, King Charles hates William so much that he much rather see William suffer and cause as much chaos as possible and bring Harry into the fold because that's how much he hates his son. Because let's not forget that William kicked Camilla's sister and his son and her son out of Cornwall as soon as he became the Duke of Cornwall. There are frictions in the palace that we're not being told, and it's incredible how this shameful trip and the memory of Princess Diana have been used just like pawns for exploitation to rehabilitate the image of a degenerate. I look forward to your comments, beautiful people. And what do you think? Why is this even happening? The gaslighting is real.